Hey there, I'm John, the founder of Things Academy, and our mission is to help 10,000 students to reach their educational goals. Today, I'm excited to share the release of two of our new standout poetry books, Hard Multiple Choice Poetry and its advanced and more difficult companion, Harder Multiple Choice Poetry. Both books are designed to increase the students' mastery in tackling multiple choice specific questions within poetry, which is a crucial element in a variety of Australian-specific exams. These two books have already been exclusively available to some of our students at Things Academy already. However, I'm excited to make this public as well. Let's get into it. First of all, to address the elephant in the room, what happened to this YouTube channel? Well, nothing really happened, nothing negative really. I've just been quite busy and I haven't made any videos for the last half a year, but I promise in 2024, one of my new resolutions is to be a lot more committed and make sure that these videos still are produced. The only issue has been that I've just been dealing with a few things personally, as well as with the work as well. So I'm hoping in 2024, it's a lot more of a smoother ride. In saying that though, why is these books important in terms of helping poetry? And why do we even need to study poetry in the first place? Well, poetry is a crucial area of English that needs to be studied and learned around the world. But here in Australia though, there's a requirement to learn in primary and in high school. Depending on the school, the assessment will also be different. For exams here, the vast majority of poetry is related to open-ended responses, but there's not many that are multiple choice with 4 options, which makes it very difficult if you're looking to find adequate preparation for it. These books have merit, but it's not very beneficial for certain exams, as open-ended responses can always be correct to an extent as long as you back it up with the correct theoretical knowledge. But with multiple choice questions, you can only have one predefined answer. It's either B, C, D, or A, or you get it wrong. As someone who attended Penrith and transferred to Girraween High School, which are both top fully selective high schools here in New South Wales, I could not work on over-the-counter books that I buy from Dymocks, as they were just on the easier side, and nothing against them at all, of course. Excel books were very popular in my day, but I couldn't use it because I felt like the difficulty was a little bit more easier, which is why I wanted to create more difficult and harder questions. Remember, this is just my personal opinion. I don't want to get in trouble by saying that, and I don't have any association with them too, but I just wanted to share where I was coming from and why I created these books in the first place. That is why I believe creating challenging multiple choice questions for poetry is necessary, and that I had a feeling that students would really benefit from this. So over the past year, I've been working tirelessly with my team, and I'm very excited to release these two books because I feel like these types of questions are just not currently available on the market. For starters, we have Hard Multiple Choice Poetry, which serves as the robust foundation, and it presents 15 poems with 7 questions each, summing up to a total of 105 questions in total. It's ideal for students targeting the New South Wales Opportunity Class exam, in particular, Selective exam, the private school scholarships, or simply aiming to refine your poetry analysis skills. The questions are tough, but generally, students in high school will be able to get the majority of these questions correct, as a few of the difficulties in these questions and poems are reliant on vocabulary and general understanding of the themes. I'm going to make the assumption that students that are a little bit older in high school will be able to get these questions more correct because they have more experience and have been more exposed to a wider array of vocabulary and themes compared to younger students. In saying that though, if you're still not very good with poetry, start with this book. With time and experience, this will make it easier, although for high school students that are generally on the weaker side, more than happy for you to start on this book, like I said. On the flip side, Harder Multiple Choice Poetry takes the challenge up a notch. This book also features 15 poems with 8 questions each, resulting in a total of 120 questions. This was crafted with setting the sights on the higher end of the top selective schools, as well as the HAST exam and the NG test exam, which are exams required to transfer into another fully selective school. It mirrors the complexity of these questions in terms of the wording and the phrasing, with more of an added focus on the literary techniques. These techniques and understanding of the poems is so important and requires careful deliberation, as many of these questions are intentionally misleading, making it more difficult. I would not recommend starting with this book unless you're already confident with poetry in general. High school students can start with this one, but I've also seen some high school students struggle with questions in this book as well, and it's not meant to be easy. However, if you're in year 6 and you're looking to get into the Balcombe Hills and the James Rooses, then this book could be a fantastic addition for you to practice more poetry style questions as well. Both books have a similar theme and is beneficial for the same reading comprehension subject area in English. The design on the front cover is also related, where the persona featured is also used in both of these books, but the age is a little bit more older for the harder version of the book. As you can see here, she's more grown up, but she is the younger version here. If I were to come out with another book, I would likely still keep the same person and just call it Hardest Multiple Choice Poetry Book. So hard, harder, and hardest. I know, very creative. The books are structured by first going through poetry techniques and the approach we use in our personal one-on-one classes when tackling questions in a time-bound setting. It then goes through the poems, which are numbered sequentially, and answer explanations at the back. This is very important to make sure that your understanding aligns with the answer at the back of the book and to double check that you are correct. Although it is important to note that you should never look at the answers immediately without first properly tackling the question first, otherwise you're not going to get any benefit from this. And I personally have seen a lot of students, if they struggle with a question, they just look at the answer at the back without trying it out themselves. And that will not help you at all. While both books share a common structure and goal, the main difference lies in the difficulty of the questions and the focus on different literary devices. The hard multiple choice poetry book lays the groundwork for understanding poetry's essentials and the basics, and generally suited for primary school students. If you're a student or a parent of a student just beginning to delve into poetry, you're not very confident with it, go to hard multiple choice poetry. That's your go-to resource. That's structured to build confidence and your basic ability for your foundations. In contrast, harder multiple choice poetry pushes the boundaries a little bit more, provides a deeper insight into what poetry is, and it requires more higher level analytical skills, which are required for higher level exams. The harder multiple choice poetry also has one more additional question compared to the hard multiple choice poetry book. If you're seeking material that aligns with more demanding tests, or if you're already comfortable with the basics and already in high school and you're looking for the next challenge, the harder multiple choice poetry book is your best bet. It is also important to note that it is very difficult to cater to students who are just going with poetry, who are intermediate or advanced. That is why the general level of the questions would naturally be on the harder side than what you may expect, compared to if you just attended a normal average school or you find that NAPLAN is quite moderately difficult, as the majority of our students are generally striving to get into a higher ranking school or have higher aspirations. Regardless of your starting point, both books embody our mission to support 10,000 students in reaching their academic potential. They reflect our dedication to providing comprehensive resources that foster problem solving and critical thinking. We can't help everyone through tutoring, as there's only a certain number of students that we can teach due to our availability being one-on-one. However, I believe these books can definitely increase our reach for those that we can't really benefit ourselves. For those who can't afford or go to tutoring, then these questions will hopefully be great practice material for you guys and girls. And you can find these books available on Amazon, which is accessible globally, or on our website, www.bingsacademy.com, along with additional support and guidance available. A lot of our students have already been practicing with these books for the last couple months, but I'm keen to hear your experience with these books as well. So please do leave your comment and feedback down below. If you don't like the books, tell me why. I'll take that into consideration when we create a third book later down the line. And I think there's no such thing as bad feedback. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.